pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, please, Joy.
Jeske. Here. Bankin. Here. Brown. Bristol.
Here.
Asplin. Yes.
Okay, has everybody had a chance to review the agenda?
Make the motion, we accept the agenda as presented.
Second. Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
We're noting that's the amended agenda.
Yes.
That's presented to us. All right, everybody had a chance to look over the minutes from the previous meeting.
Make a motion, we accept the minutes.
I'll second it.
All right, we got a motion, we got a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? General public comment.
Nothing on here.
Okay, we got nothing on the communications list. Tracy, your report.
Okay, I have been working on preparing the information for the ARPA funds reporting, which is coming up at the end of next month. So working on that, and we'll be working in conjunction with Lori Phelps so that we can get those reports submitted and in a timely manner. I provided you a copy of the budget report that was placed on your desk this morning with the percentages as we had requested before. There is also a report there from the animal shelter, animal shelter reporting. I spoke with Mac the other day, and they were talking about the veterans bill that's been submitted, which will provide a tax credit to the veterans that will be payable to the counties to replace for those funds that they took away from us before. So that bill is on the move, and we should be hearing more from Mac about that soon.
That's good news.
Sooner than later. And they are also working on a pension bill right now, which relates to grant funds for counties that are having issues with their pensions. But as soon as we do, we can let you all know about that, and hopefully it's something that we can get to take care of our pension, some of our pension loans as well.
Great.
Just one other thing. So we've talked about the cost allocation plan in the past, and we have MGT that does that for us. If you recall, he had come in and he presented to the board stating that there was the ability to find more funds for the county. Of course, at an additional cost. We received a bill from them for an additional $4,000 on top of the $7,500 that we pay them, because they had found some additional funding that will be reimbursed to the county. My issue with them charging for that is that those funds came from the fact that we added more staff and some space changed. So technically, they didn't find those funds. It was as a result of something that the county did. So I've also been in talks with someone that used to do our cost allocation plan for us. She provided a quote of $7,500, $7,500 per year at no additional cost, and would provide an additional 10% off of that rate if we did a 3-year contract. So just a thought, and I wanted to throw that out there. So
Any chance of arguing with them about that $4,000 for things we found ourselves?
I can talk to them about it. We have one more year in their contract. You can submit, a 60-day notice that you want out of the contract, but we
Okay,
still have one more year with them, but
okay.
yeah.
How much trouble would it be to switch to the person you were talking about?
Providing a letter to the company that we're with and getting a contract approved by the board.
Okay,
That's it. That's all I have.
All right.
I have nothing prepared for you today,
All right.
can you make something up?
probably, but I got a lot of stuff going on.
All right,
Okay, I guess, Karen, you're up.
15 years I was here. I don't think I've ever heard that before. My world is tilted right now. Good morning, I'm Karen Moore. I run your MIDC program, have been doing so since early 2019. And the current contract that my company, IDC, has with your county is set to expire this September. We write the grant for this program in April, though, so we're working on our grants now. As you know, you are joined with a group of 7 other counties. A lot of reasons to do that. We know, being, commissioners and being on other boards, and I see now firsthand the power of joining with other counties and having a voice on that board in Lansing or wherever we need to be heard. So your county deciding in 2018 to join with these other 7 was a great idea. All 8 have contracted with my company, IDC. Since then, we've been in full compliance. We've got a very good relationship with the state. We've had a lot of success on your behalf and some of the other counties when the MIDC staff says one thing, and we believe that that's not what's in the best interest of the county. We've made 4 substantial arguments, that lawyers say arguments, but presentations to them, and we've been successful on everyone in advocating for the county. So what we're asking for you today is to approve another contract with IDC and the other counties. So far, these are presented to all the counties. Oceana and Osceola have signed. Lake and Macasta have indicated they will. It just hasn't come before their board yet. And no one's indicated opposition. It's just a matter of when we come to the board to present these. So I do believe it's in your best interest to stay with the group of 8, and IDC would be happy to provide those services for you.
I'm all about it.
Background in that, do we have to supply some kind of representation? Explain the program a little more, why we have to have it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a state mandate, and the statute was written in 2013. When it finally got implemented in 18, it said that you had 180 days from the date the state, put the hammer down on this to comply. Tracy was instrumental in writing the original plan about what your compliance would be. And so it's a mandate, and certain things that you have to do as a county, that we have to make sure the indigent defense program is at a certain level. Again, the state in writing the statute had 8 standards. They've implemented 5 of them. The attorneys have to have certain qualifications. The attorneys have to meet with the clients in a timely manner. The attorneys have to be present at original, or it's called the arraignment hearing. So all of that mandated by the state. And the other side of that, though, is the state pays for all of those mandates. You do have a cost in this. Your cost is set. What they did is took what you paid for criminal indigent defense, adult indigent defense in the years 2010 to 2012. They selected those years because the statute was written in 2013, and they didn't want anybody to read that statute, manipulate their numbers, and choose a future year. So they went behind the statute and said, take the average of those 3 years of what you spent, and that will be your local share. It's only indexed for inflation, or maximum of 3% each year. And each year your local share goes back to what was set in 2018. So actually for this last year, the inflation rate was 1.9. The year before it was 2.3. So your local share from what it was, go to 18 and it was indexed 1.9%. It's whatever it's not even the consumer price index. It's an urban index. But that's set by the state. The state is arguing certain things on that. The state wants that to be cumulative. They want to say in the first year it was 2.3, keep that number. Next year it was 2.1, keep that number. Next year it was 1.9, keep that number. We see what's going to happen with that. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And so we've advocated actually in front of the legislatures in Lansing that that will not be acceptable to us. And we're arguing on behalf of 8 of you, but so far we've been successful on that.
Good,
Okay.
good.
And what is our cost?
180,000 a year, is it?
Yeah, I think,
it's
no,
said
I
right
think
in
ours
there.
is 155.
Okay,
Yeah, that is, and yeah, in your contract, you're tied with Gladwin County.
Yes.
Again, just the rest of them are individual contracts. But you're tied, so when we look at the number, it's a total of what's
So 155 is correct.
It's Clare County's.
Okay.
And the overall grant this year was about 1.2 million. So the balance of that is state grant funds. Now, we can't just, and again, I'm a commissioner, so I look at that money coming into my county and I say, what else could I do with it? And we can't. It's earmarked towards the program. If we don't use it, we hold it. It's a carryover to the next year, but it has to be accounted at to the penny. Even though this is a $1.2 million grant, when we enter it, they have cents on there, and I actually asked for that. So we're balanced to the penny of what we're spending taxpayer money on.
And it can't, I'm looking at our balance and we got like 1.46 million. That can't be earmarked for anything else. We can't skip a payment.
You have to, each year you have to pay your local share into the fund. And again, my recommendation is you pay it on that last day. Why would we like, because the interest is the state's money too. Pay it on the last day. I have some counties that want to pay it quarterly. Gladwin County pays in the first year because they pay to Clare County, and maybe I could do something about that. But that's just how they've always wanted to do it. So but, you have to pay your local share and spend your local share. So when we report, the first amount is the local share. Anything above that is the state grant. Now, the state could turn around and say, Karen, write your grant a little lower. The issue with that is we haven't had a normal year to make an assessment of what our actual costs are. So every time I argue to the state, don't take me back to my spending level. We started with a partial year and then we went right into COVID. We haven't had a normal year to make an assessment. So they've been able to allow us to write at that higher level. And I believe they will allow that this year also. This is all my company does. We don't have an outside practice. We do MIDC compliance for counties and have not, will not expand from the 8 and hope to keep the 8 together. It's a good fit. When we look at, you've got Mason and Oceana coming all the way back to Gladwin and everybody in between except Isabella. It's a great group of counties and the administrators work well together and got a voice.
we need a motion.
I think we do.
I'd make a motion to go ahead and pay that. Do I have to say the amount?
Agree to a contract with,
Approve the contract.
Okay,
Approve the contract.
yeah,
renew the contract.
motion.
And I'll second.
Okay, thanks.
How long is that contract? 3 years?
For a 3-year. It's, again, we're trying to keep it consistent across the counties enough to allow us to do our planning. And there is an out, and I want to be very clear, should the state not pay, you guys don't pay a penny for what IDC does. If the state doesn't pay on this contract, you're out immediately. If you're not happy, you're out immediately too.
Yeah.
Okay, we got a motion. We got a second. Joy, you caught up?
Yep.
All right,
Want a roll call?
roll call, please.
Bristol,
Yes.
Asplund. Yes. Majeski,
Yes.
Pitchford,
Yes.
Bankin,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Pascal.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
He was already signing this. Okay.
Just, again, I will be happy to come at any point. I've got Oceana and Nuevo that want monthly reports to their boards, and we're happy to do that. Anytime, if you want me to come monthly, I'd be happy to. I don't like to intrude into meetings, and you have to hear from me. But tell Tracy, hey, I want a quarterly update. I want it in writing, whatever you need as far as updates, but the program can be confusing. It hasn't changed much since 18, but again, I don't want to intrude into your meetings, but I'd be happy to be here and report. Let me know what you'd like and need.
Thank you.
Thanks. It was good to see you again.
Okay, we're gonna go a little out of order here. Tom has another engagement he needs to get to, so if we could go to C, Physical Resources and Economic Development Committee. And would you like to talk about your village renewal to us?
Karen,
Yes, it's very straightforward. It's just pretty much a renewal of the needs that we have going on right now. And thank you, Board Chair, for moving me up in the agenda. Registership is up a little bit. I'm hoping that's going to keep climbing. I put an article in front of you this morning, which we're running the paper in a couple weeks.
Mhm.
We were able to hire 3 new drivers. The last couple weeks. But we're still down about 3. So we're going to keep shaking the trees and get some more people to fall out of them. That's all I have unless anyone has any questions for me.
No. Rick, you want to read that motion?
Motion. Go to
Bottom of page 2.
page 2. Resolution for transit millage renewal. To adopt resolution 22-07 Clark County Transportation millage proposal for the purpose of continuing to fund countywide public transportation system to serve Clark County.
I'll second that.
Motion, we got a second? Roll call, Joy.
Rankin,
Yes.
Bristol,
Yes.
Majeski,
Yes.
Pittsford,
Yes.
Brown. Yes. Asplund. Yes. Driscoll.
Pretty easy.
All right.
Thank you. very much.
Thanks, Tom.
Have a great week.
You too.
You too.
You too, Tom.
Okay, now we come,
Hold on. Oh, they didn't.
Okay, just trying to make
Oh,
sure.
sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Stephanie, can you take A1, Justice Committee?
Clare County Disaster Debris Management Plan. Motion to approve the Clare County Disaster Debris Management Plan as presented by the Clare County Emergency Management.
I'll second it.
Motion second. Anybody got any questions on that? Okay, all in favor?
Hi.
Opposed? Motion passes. Dale, you take 2?
Sure. To approve the letter of understanding for the sheriff's department's unions in order to allow donated sick time for those that have been on family medical leave but have exhausted all their time and used all current accrued time.
I'll second.
Motion second. Any discussion? I think we do a roll call on this one, Joy.
Okay. Majeski,
Yes.
Pittsford,
Yes.
Rankin,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Bristol,
Yes.
Asplund. Yes. Driscoll.
Yes. Okay. Samantha, can you take B1?
To adopt resolution 22-06 for the purpose of submitting a proposal to the qualified voters of Clare County for the Senior Citizen Services Millage Renewal Proposal.
I'll second that.
Motion, we got a second. Any discussion? Roll call, Joy.
Pittsford,
Yes.
Bristol,
Yes.
Majeski.
Yes.
Rankin,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Asplund. Yes. Driscoll.
Yes. Okay, motion passes. Sandy, can you do B?
Yes. Motion to approve a 3% wage increase to staff in the senior services community development for those that haven't received an increase since fiscal year 2016, effective March 16th, 2022, and again on October 1st, 2022.
Got a motion? We got a second?
Second.
Motion second. Any discussion? Okay. Roll call, please.
Bristol,
Yes.
Asplund. Yes. Majeski,
Abstain.
Pittsford,
Yes.
Rankin,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Haskell.
Yeah. Passes. out-of-state travel approval. Bronwyn, will you take that one, please?
Motion to allow the Veterans Affairs Director to attend the National Association of County Veterans Service Officers Conference in San Antonio, Texas, from June 5th through June 10th, with all funds to come from approved grant monies.
You got a motion.
I'll second it.
You got a second.
Jump right in anytime, people.
You're too quick for it.
Well, I was paused.
Yeah, Rick was gonna second.
So roll call, Joy.
Asplin,
Yes.
Bristol,
Yes,
Majewski.
Yes.
Pittsford,
Yes.
Lincoln,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Haskell.
Yes. Okay, Rick, will you take 3?
Community Mental Health reappointment. To appoint Joe Phillips to the Community Mental Health Board for a 3-year term to expire on March 31st, 2025.
Second.
Who did it? You guys were like,
Second.
somebody. Not saying
Okay, we got a motion, we got a second. All in favor?
aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Stephanie, you take 4?
Motion to 0.5 hours of vacation time exceeding the amount in the personnel manual for Carol Majewski due to staff shortage.
I'll second.
Motion, we got a second. I may just have a question. Is this not customary?
We can do I can approve 37.5 hours, but she's got a total of 60 hours and
You feel that she could not take this time because of
did not take
the
it.
extra work you've had to do?
Yep,
Okay. Roll call, please.
Brown,
Yes.
Bristol,
Yes,
Majewski,
I'm gonna abstain again.
Pittsford,
Yes.
Lincoln,
Yes.
Asplin,
Yes.
Haskell.
Yes. Why would you abstain?
Yeah.
Okay. That last one, Rick? Stephanie, can you read C1? Oh, did you? Okay, Dale, will you read C1?
Didn't we already
One's
vote?
already done.
Oh,
We already did.
Gotta go.
You're
send me home,
Yep,
please.
you're-
Pick me out.
Finance and to approve the statutory finance committee meeting minutes of February 24th, 2022 in the amount of $1,638.25 and approve the payout of sick time due to retirement of Cindy Wright in the amount of $4,600.02.
uno momento, por favor. We skipped the airport appropriation request discussion.
Bump right back up to that after we read this.
Okay, thank you.
Now I lost my train of thought. And minutes of the March 7th, 2022 in the amount of $108,137.23.
Motion, we got a second?
Second.
Motion second. Roll call, Joy.
Majewski,
Yes.
Asplin,
Yes.
Pittsford,
Yes.
Lincoln,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Bristol,
Yes,
Haskell.
Yes. Okay, now we'll go up to the airport appropriation. request.
okay, thanks. I get like, oh my God, all that preparation. No, I just would like to talk to the board now to bring you up to date on the airport board and where we're at. And we had another terrific meeting. We are poised and ready to go. The airport board had a 5-year plan. And then the money was, the county puts in the $10,000 that was taken away. And that set them right back down to not being able to do anything. And what I'm asking is if the board would giving the airport board that $10,000 per year that we used to give them. They want to go right back into the airport, the 5-year plan. We're very close to getting the runway sealed. Is that chip? That's not chip sealed.
Crack seal.
Crack sealed. And that would give us time. The crack seal lasts about 3 years. And that would give us time to get the rest of our plans rolling, to bring in a little bit more money and get on the pilot's lounge, which will then qualify us for federal monies. And I believe next year, there's also going to be some state money to help with the airport. And if the Board of Commissioners puts in their $10,000 that will be presented to the city and to Hayes Township. And it sounds like they would be okay with putting in their $5,000 apiece. That would really get the airport board rolling again. There's a lot of enthusiasm. We've got fundraisers lined up. We're going to have a drag race. No,
Bracket race.
bracket race. Okay, it's all like running really fast with cars. Bracket race in September, which should bring in some money. And then we'll see how that goes. But there's just a list of things we want to do to get that money coming in. If we get the Pilots Lounge, then we can get gas to sell too, and that's another revenue stream. We're really trying very hard to get the airport to the point where it takes care of itself and we don't have to worry about, just the money from rentals of the hangars and things like that. I'd really appreciate your support.
Sandy, is that, are you looking to include that 10,000 in our upcoming budget year? Or to take place right now?
Well, in a perfect world, yeah, it would be good. Now. Okay.
My thoughts are, I'm all for this, but I just spoke with our treasurer and she said we're going to have a little better idea where we're going to hit, where our budget's going to be by April. I'd like to put this off until April.
Our auditors will be done with the audit. That's what she's referring to.
Oh, okay. All right.
We'll actually have our equalization values by then too. That's one of the main things I'm looking for.
Thank you.
Is it gonna make a big difference if we hold off and wait? I mean,
Till April?
hey,
Till next.
No, that'd be fine.
Great.
April of this year.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, this year.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
But make sure we put a motion on the agenda for that
Okay.
next month.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate that a lot.
where would we be able to pull that from? Contingency? How much is left in contingency?
I believe 80. 80,000.
And it'll do a lot for the community. We're getting community support there too.
So the city of Harrison and Hayes Township are in on this.
Yeah, they
Well,
have,
That's
Jumping
the
back in.
thing. That's what they're saying is that
we have to go.
if the county will put in, then they will go to their boards and they will ask them
Mhm.
to replace that as well, but they're not asking for us to do it and not them.
Right, so is the feeling that the two other entities are interested in?
Yes.
Yes.
Back in again?
Yes, they have members on the airport board and they're just waiting for us to move.
Is there a possibility of getting donations like from the banks or something like that as well? Is it possible?
From banks?
We are gonna start doing fundraising
Yeah.
and bringing in some
Yeah.
additional funds.
Mhm.
The issue is, and Sandy kind of spoke to this, is that Clare County's airport is a basic utility airport.
Oh, yeah,
Because it's a basic utility airport, we can't apply for federal funding.
right.
So once we get the pilot's lounge and the runway crack ceiling done,
Mhm.
then we can move it from a basic to a general utility and we could start applying for those federal funding.
And I'm all for that. I'm just,
Federal funds now or any grants now is because there's a utility or a basic airport, a general airport within 30-mile radius.
Yeah.
And that's in Clare.
Yeah.
So that's why they won't even give you the money to bring you up to the different level.
So we have to do that ourselves, which is,
Yourself,
yeah, which
then
is-
you qualify.
yes, and that's what we're working on.
Yep.
Okay, we want very much to have that airport self-sustaining.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so Stephanie, you take two. I'm sorry. We have to start with this. I'm really screwing this up. I'm butchering this today.
You're doing fine.
Motion to approve the expenditures for the month of February 2022 in the amount of $2,335,344.92 with the general fund expenditures totaling $1,022,971.65.
I'll second it.
Motion second, roll call, Joy.
Pittsburgh,
Yes.
Majewski.
Yes.
Rankin,
Yes.
Brown. Yes. Bristol,
Yes,
Estlin,
yes,
Casco.
Yes. Sandy, you take three?
budget adjustments to approve budget adjustment 22-40, 22-41, 22-46, 22-47, 22-48, 22-49, and 22-50 in the amount of $782,923.89, $3,405.30, $20,945, $7,300, $10,000, $9,700, and $55,814.04 to be distributed.
I'll second.
Motion got a second. Roll call, please.
Bristol,
Yes.
Asplund,
Yes.
Majewski.
Yes.
Pitchford,
yes,
Bankin,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Haskell.
Yes. Okay, Bronwyn, you can take 4.
Sure. District Court ARPA request. Motion to allow up to $3,500 to be provided through ARPA funds for the district court for the purchases of furniture and supplies for new employee previously approved through ARPA funding.
Motion, we got a second?
I'll second it for the sake of conversation.
All right. Well, would you like to talk about that, would you?
Yes, so the furniture is gonna be like desk? Is somebody,
He's not here.
okay,
He had to fill in Gladwin.
okay,
Yes.
so like desk and that include computer?
Yep.
Okay, all right, and a chair, I would assume. Okay, and supplies, all right, fine, I'm glad with that.
How much is left out of the ARPA money
$12.
after this is taken out?
No, wasn't it roughly
900 and some thousand.
900,000?
And that's still the first year.
Yes,
Yeah.
monies.
we haven't talked. about it, yeah.
This can fall underneath ARPA then.
Yes.
Yeah.
Roll call, please.
Asplund,
Yes.
Bristol,
Yes,
Majewski,
Yes.
Pitchford,
yes,
Bankin,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Haskell.
Yes. Wage committee discussion. Dale?
Sure. We met, it was a couple of weeks ago. Sat down and discussed, looked at all the information and basically come up with a suggestion to bring to the Board of Commissioners. We were looking at a 10% increase for both Midge and John. We thought that was fair and
For this year
For this year
and 10%
and a
next year.
potential for next year. We'll review it next year.
okay,
So I would like to put that in a motion form that we have John and Midge a 10% increase
Go ahead.
and review it next year as well for a 10%
and that would take place immediately.
immediately. Yep.
And that, the 10% this year and the 10% next year would bring them up to what they were asking for.
No, no.
Okay, all right.
I'd like to pipe in here if I could. I asked
Still
for
need
a
a-
second meeting. We had one meeting. I asked for a second meeting and I also asked to speak with the sheriff and undersheriff. I think it's important. Communication is important here with all of our representatives from each and every one of our department heads. And that never transpired. I feel badly about that. I wish that could have taken place because there was some miscommunications. I think it's always good to sit down and speak with the department heads.
Let me speak up. We didn't hit the benchmark that's set by the surrounding counties. We need to hit that benchmark. And I agree with splitting up with a couple of years, but we have to hit that benchmark for number one. We got to take the emotions, the people out of it, look at the position. In order to get people to run from this position, we got to pay competitive wage with the surrounding counties. Number two, is the revenue we get from the sheriff department, we're dependent on it. So, I mean, we got to pay these people to take care of that. And our surrounding county is set the average of 82,000 for the sheriff and 71.5 for the undersheriff. But the 10% for undersheriff hit that, but it won't hit the 82 for the sheriff.
Right, but what we did was we looked at, you really can't compare Isabella County to Clare County. And you're looking at over double the
What
population.
do you look at that? But you look at compared to Glavine County to us. I mean, Glavine County's county brought it up to us. That's where we should be compared to.
Right, and we have to look at, I mean, what we give the sheriff and the undersheriff, we're gonna have to look at that same amount towards the other departments and the other elected officials and
Not necessarily.
where are we gonna pull money from?
That's faulty reasoning.
It is?
Yes.
How?
How?
Yeah,
You're comparing apples to oranges. You have to look at each department on their own standards and look at what they're.
we haven't had a raise in as long as John and them have either. I mean, why would you treat them any different or John and any different?
You don't,
I mean, they're elected
you're not
positions.
comparing the same thing.
Take the names out of and look at the position.
Right, and we are looking at the
In
position.
the sheriff's department, back where they're sustainable, they can sustain the wages, that we gotta look at that also. I mean, where would we be if we didn't have the inmates right now without that revenue coming in? You gotta look at that too. I mean,
Right, that's been a revenue stream for the county since existence, the jail.
which it probably shouldn't be, but I'm just saying, I mean, you look look at that position, what it holds and the other departments hold. I mean, the surrounding county, they're not housing inmates. There's more responsibility for this position right here. And that position is the 82,000 average. We should be at with that.
That's right.
Yep, hold on, we have a motion on the floor. Just waiting for a second so we can actually go into discussion.
I'll second it. Now we can discuss it. Part of, there's three things that came into this decision. Number one, that everybody overlooks at times, and the comparable benefit package between counties. Ours is like the Cadillac. So if you take that and put that into the equation with all the rest of the surrounding competitive wages, which it should be, don't you think? That's apples to apples comparison.
I agree with you. Do we have those numbers though?
I got some right here. So with that being said, number two, increased the wages for the sheriff's department, corrections, those bargaining units, $325,000 per year that we haven't really even, that won't really go into the budget. Well, it'll have to be amended this year, but also it'll be in next year's budget.
Mhm.
That's part of the reason for doing it in a 2-year process, to see where we're at after all this irons out. And so that's being said, does some of that big fund go to those wages also?
Which I agree with the 2-year.
And then,
2-year process, but we gotta set the benchmark, hit that benchmark, what I'm saying.
and so in 2 years, it'll be for the sheriff, what, $78,650. And so that's 4,500. What we're arguing about here. So is that worth the benefit package that we bring? Is it something that we discuss right now? I mean, do we just look at wages and then just don't look at anything else? And
What's the number for the benefit package compared to the surrounding counties? What is it?
Mhm.
I mean, that's the information we need to know.
Right.
well, see, a lot of it is too. Help me interpret that. We don't get what they pay per month per employee. It just tells you what the benefit is.
Right, but they have, okay, so for example, health insurance.
Mhm.
Clear County has an ASR plan. Gladwin has a Mesa plan. Ours is a $250, $500 deductible. Theirs is a 1,000, 2,000. They pay roughly the same amount that we do for a 1,000, 2,000.
Okay.
If you go up to the higher deductibles, 1,400 to 2,800, they pay a little less, and a little bit less for the next
But
package.
how much does that plan cost per individual to the provider?
Exactly. I don't know what that is because I don't have those figures.
Yeah, could we hear from the sheriff and undersheriff? Is that possible? They can explain it a little better?
If you would like that, that's fine.
Good, please.
Morning, everyone. guess the easiest way is probably for you to Q&A me. So the best advantage of the time you're giving. So what can I try to help with? What questions?
Talking,
We're talking benefit packages.
I don't know their exact insurance. I was told the sheriff and undersheriff and Gladwin may potentially have a B4, not a B3 like us. Pay wise, the numbers the sheriff provided you are valid, whatever you choose to do, if anything. Volume, I'm gonna be honest with you, it's night and day for us, what we deal with compared to them.
oh, yeah. We know that. I think we know that.
And Gladwin, and I told you before, is like a third of the department we are. So again, all the counties around us, if you compare us to, you can't really compare us to four of them. Isabella, yeah, but you look at the size of their office, they have 45 employees. I have 70. They don't oversee their central dispatch. I do. I mean, there's a lot of more factors in that. And the amount of people that are in the actual county portion of Isabella is 60,000. So it's double our population because you can't count Mount Pleasant, Elma, or Mount Pleasant, Shepherd of that. There's 6 police agencies down there, plus a Michigan State Police Post. You know, so when you want to add variables in there, there's a good variable.
And traditionally, you guys, we've always been compared to Gladwin County, same district type thing with the courts, but again, the volume is night and day. And the revenue we bring in, they don't bring in any revenue.
I think we also have to look at the future. Retaining employees,
Yes.
getting new employees in here. We've faced it with the deputies. If you're not offering a substantial or fair wage for the position, you're not going to get qualified applicants.
Yeah.
Or if you do, you're a training spot for them. They train and then they leave because they can find more funds somewhere else. These salaries that they're at right now are inadequate for the work they do.
Yeah.
And you're not going to find additional resources, additional personnel that would be willing to take on the roles and responsibilities of a Fed program, of the incidents that occur in this county. It's honestly, from my experience and people I've spoken to in the law enforcement world, it's a joke.
Yeah, I represent 5 townships, and every single township has spoken positively, very positively about our sheriff and undersheriff. And given the facts and what has happened here, what the sheriff and undersheriff are proposing is no funds are being asked from the public. It's all from the commissary fund. And they're requesting not anything exorbitant, as you say. It's what they're requesting is basically to be in, be in comparison to other counties and what they do. We have, our townships have all said that we have, in their opinions, one of the best sheriffs and undersheriffs in the whole state. They're really, really positive about that. So
You look at the position where we're at with the inmates. In order to get good candidates to run against John, that's gonna take care of that. We gotta have the good competitive wage.
that's exactly right.
Thinking in the future, I mean, who's gonna come to be want to do the inmates to be a sheriff for $65,000 a year? So we gotta look at the position at itself. What do we need to provide for our community? Right now, we need that funds for our budget.
That's right.
We have to look at that. We have to look in the future. You take the people out of the position, look at the position. What do we gotta have to bring good people in?
Yeah, exactly.
You said the 10% this year and next year for the undersheriff, that would bring him up to where they wanted
Not really.
No,
for the undersheriff. No.
no,
Let them explain.
go ahead.
Well, I wasn't done.
I split the sheriff. That end, I can talk about the sheriffs, but I'm not going to get into, you guys have to decide what you I'm not. getting-
Right now, if you gave him a 10%, he would make just a little bit above what a lieutenant tops out at.
Well, I was
And the
asked,
way the thing was proposed is we'll revisit a 10% next year. It's not guaranteed. So there's a lot of things that aren't guaranteed.
right, I was gonna ask though, if we could bring it up to like 11% this year. Get it closer.
Or what about a flat dollar amount? Would that
If we
be?
go back to this minutes where,
You can't make that same motion again,
No,
just so that you know that.
but we could use the dollar amount.
I think the new motion would be split in 2 years, but it needs to hit the benchmark of 82,000 to 71,500. That proposed for the average. That's what we need to do.
It's not right?
You tell him, because you're whispering, I can't hear you, but just tell him. Hartwell's at 77. You would have been at, so 59 is 60 and 8 would be in the ballpark, right?
Who's Hartwell?
The under sheriff next door,
Okay,
Bad one.
all right.
next door, that one.
So we,
Yeah,
77?
He's at 77. Mike's at 83 something. I don't remember the change.
So the figure that we discussed was, I believe, 77? Is that correct? Or not?
What the sheriff had said, if it was the sheriff and undersheriff paid from Gladwin.
That would be at 12%.
The one initially quoted was a different portion of this.
That wasn't what was,
And it
so,
would be 8536.
so just so that we get.
Sheriff at
the figures
12.
straight.
Right.
10%
this year and even 10% next year. Again, we just keep falling farther
I
behind,
would not do it.
but it's your decision. It's your ballpark.
So if we went with a dollar amount,
Yeah, I think you gotta
10,000.
finish the,
10,000 and 10,000.
that's not, I can't really comment on that, can I? Because that's a, whatever the motion is. Be fair. Jeff,
We've got a motion on there, but we're still discussing that.
Do you
Change that,
wanna
you think?
withdraw that motion and,
That,
and do the dollar amount?
Wait, let them finish, please.
If it's gonna fail, let it fail. And then a new motion can be made.
okay,
Which motion are you talking about?
Dale's.
10%.
Dale's.
The original, what the committee agreed.
Yes, okay, the 10% this year and then 10% next year with looking at it.
possibly 10% next year.
Okay, possible.
possibly.
I'm bringing what the committee agreed upon.
And that's
Yes.
not true. I was a member of that committee. That wasn't really exact, you know what, I had asked for another meeting because I think there was a misunderstanding. We didn't get another meeting. So that's not true. Don't say that's what the committee decided.
Isn't that what, when we
I
met?
sat right there, Brown, and we said 10%, 10%.
No, I called you back and I said, 10% or 10,000, Jeff? And then you said 10%. I said, well, let's have another meeting. Did we have another meeting? No.
Okay,
Okay? So
Right.
no, that's misleading.
No, I don't.
That's misleading.
we did agree on that. So if you were under the impression that it wasn't that, I'm not gonna say what you thought, but we all three of us sat there and agreed on
Yeah.
10%.
I mean, when we sat in that meeting and we discussed the 10%, you jumped right on and said, I think that's,
Argue with you. Let's just let it go.
you said you thought it
It's
was.
just misleading.
I'm sorry, I'm just bringing forth what the committee discussed and everybody thought it was a fair situation.
But you,
including you.
what you felt. Okay, and I did ask for another meeting, because there was a misunderstanding. And that didn't happen.
Kind of a moot point now that
It
it's
is.
passed,
Yes,
so.
you're right.
Carry on.
You're right.
Call for a vote?
I need a little bit of clarification on the motion. I know what you said, 10,000 this year and 10,000.
No.
No.
Do it at 12%.
See?
10%.
Or that's what I mean, percent. I'm sorry.
Uh,
There was a motion on the table that it was just talked about it.
Just wanna, you wanna up it to 12%?
Yeah, brings it right.
Does that bring it right?
All right, I'll change my motion to 12% instead of the,
Yeah.
can I do that?
And make it that is
Then what are the figures? I wanna-
possibly second year will be 12% first year and 12% the second year.
Yep. Well, I just say we do it the second year, 12% this year, 12% next year.
And what would that bring him to?
81,536 for the sheriff, 74,00960 for the undersheriff.
No. We've gotta bring it up. The undersheriff has gotta have that. No,
I'm not gonna say that they don't need a raise. That's just crazy. But if, just put it this way, they're gonna get a 24% raise within the next 2 years. Has there ever been anybody that has gotten a 24% raise over 2 years,
1 year.
1 year,
Yeah, but American Waste can afford that.
but changing positions or,
Nope,
you know,
I got a 40% raise 1 year.
normally you're thinking everybody's 2,
Yeah.
3,
Yes,
4%.
Higher.
Stephanie, you're
This is another thing.
this is big.
You
Yeah.
do this 24% raise over 2 years. I understand they have it covered and everything, but if they go for a road patrol millage,
that's not even considered here. That's,
I'm just, if you're a taxpayer and you're not on this board and you find out that they got a 24% raise over 2 years, but yet they want to put money, I'm not, like I said, I'm not
They
saying they don't need it. I'm just saying as if you were a taxpayer. That's what I'm saying.
and the taxpayers in all 5 of my townships have said, who has got not, no one is, that people haven't even gotten our sheriff and undersheriff haven't even gotten a raise in over 10 years, correct?
We wouldn't be here if
Sheriff
we
got
had
one.
done general raises every year, right?
Yeah,
26.
yeah, I think, this. whole
2016
board
was-
Should have been considering,
2016 was the last time all of us got the increases for the non-union elected officials.
What was the percentage on that one?
It wasn't percentage.
Just a dollar amount or?
Yeah, some of them were dollar amounts, so.
we need to go with the dollar amount here, I think.
Joy, where are we at?
Got me lost. There was a motion and then you wanted to change it. So I just need to know what the motion is if you're going to move forward with it.
And I want to have the dollar amounts in that motion. So it's understood what the 12% would be for this year and then again at 12% for next year.
Yeah.
My brain functions in dollars, not
Okay, and then
72,800.
Mm-mm.
for this year.
Bronwyn, I'm not done.
Yeah, I know.
72,800 for the first 12%. That would be Sheriff Wilson's. And then the second, bringing up the second 12% would bring it to 81,536.
And then are you still gonna have that as part of the motion that we'd look at the second year again?
Just do it for the second.
Do it.
Just
Okay,
Do it and be
all
done.
right.
What would the undersheriffs be at?
I gotta look and see what his,
58,936 start out with
58,000?
936, right?
It would end up $74,000 and some change,
No.
At 12.
2 years.
12.
Mm-mm.
And you can sustain that into eternity. Right, okay.
Yes, we're still here.
I'm looking at the information that was sent out for the 2020 sheriff's wages quite a while ago for this discussion. And if we're at that comparison, so this is 2020, so we're now looking at 2 years ago. The average sheriff wage was $74,103. 2 years ago. So again, if we drag our feet, they're still not gonna be up to par with what
That's right.
this county deals.
That's exactly right.
But it's a substantial increase.
And what, 82.5 was what the Gladwin County Sheriff made.
Yeah, but if you were here.
And that
those
wasn't an
30 years, you really
average.
couldn't afford it.
And if you take that and 2 years would be 81,536 at 12%.
Really
You
still-
take our benefit package, I think it would be above grade than below grade.
Anyway, raising the undersheriff up just a tad. 'Cause
I
there's
say go dollar.
difference between the
Dollar.
there.
Well, I'm saying we had a motion. If we don't like it, then we vote it down.
Yeah.
Start over.
Yeah, back to the committee. Unless we're gonna keep the committee, if not gonna go by the recommendations of the committee, why have it?
No,
Really?
no. When you ask, when you're a
Seems
member.
like we get resolved today.
Ask for a meeting and you don't get it, I'm not saying go back to the committee because it just, that really angers me. I think to right here and now, we've got to make a decision.
Asked me that it would be addressed this.
That's right. That's right.
We'll know how the turnout is. We address this meeting.
If the 10% motion is voted down now, we could go ahead and make another motion,
I changed it to 12.
We changed it to
12. Okay, and if that is voted down
Then somebody else.
today, can we make another motion?
Yes,
as long as it's not the same.
Right,
yes.
okay, just pressing for clarification.
Got a motion, we got a second.
Skibby,
Yes,
Haskell,
Yes.
Pitchford,
Yes.
Finken,
No,
Brown,
No.
Bristol,
No,
Asplund.
No.
Come on, it's no reason to be bitter.
no,
Well, God dang it. We got to be honest here. We got, got to do things a little bit better than what we're doing.
conversation, working back and forth, that's how we resolve it. There's no need to get mad at each other
That's true.
with issues.
Okay.
I'm not mad at anybody.
I'd like to make a motion. I'd make a motion that we look at 10,000 this year, $10,000 this year, $10,000 next year
for both.
for both.
And that would bring,
what's that percent?
Let's just do.
$25,000, $85,000, and
No, that's about,
68,936 and 78,936.
did they become for the undersheriff
Sheriff would be 75,000,
for the first year?
yes, 85,000 for second. 68,936 for the undersheriff, and then
17%.
17%,
Okay,
Okay.
that would put them above Gladwin County then.
17%
Yeah,
increase.
I think that's more than reasonable. Yeah.
I think it's,
Got a motion?
In a second.
Second,
Okay.
Any more discussion? Roll call.
Asplund,
Yes.
Finken,
yes.
Majeski,
No,
Pitchford,
no,
Brown,
Yes.
Bristol,
no,
Haskell.
No. We got to do something you thought that was too high?
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Motion,
what they asked for, I think that's the numbers we should be shooting for.
83 and 77.
Yes, or 76 and,
so you want to go higher than what was proposed on this motion then?
Lower
no, lower.
motion then.
They're not a paper.
So just split it up between 2 years. But make a
Yep.
motion.
I'd like to make a motion to split up increases for the sheriff and the undersheriff over 2 years. But now, are you wanting me to give a percentage or on,
Just what it equals after the second year, then we can break it up, correct? For what's gonna be each year.
I would say to make it, what are we gunning for here?
so do,
North Gladwin County, is that what we're looking for?
Yes.
yeah,
Okay, to
So-
make it even be for Gladwin County,
okay,
he'd split up in 2 years.
okay. I'd like to make a motion.
Obviously, I didn't make that motion, but
Okay,
maybe the expert.
let me see if I get close. Okay,
Dollar amount is what again?
Get the dollar amount.
Let's get the dollar amount.
okay. Somebody figure that out? Or do I have to?
Well, you're
I
making the
think
motion.
Tracy's working on it right now.
Sheriff's is 17,033.
And that's over 2 years, split in 2 years.
Yeah,
Why are we doing 2 years?
Sandy's motion.
I'm just going with what the committee recommended.
We don't have to go by the committee recommendation.
That's right.
Then we can vote mine down and change it. Seriously, that's democracy at work. Okay, yeah.
Sheriff, undersheriff, 14,007,535.
Is that for 2 years, for 1 year?
That's 1 year. That's the difference
Okay.
between
Read that number again, 14,000,
075
cents.
Sheriff?
Sheriff?
No, that's the
Under
undersheriff.
sheriff.
No, I need the sheriffs.
That was 17,000.
17,033. You're scowling, John. What's
I'm
wrong?
thinking, can I make a suggestion? If you're gonna do this, do 10 this year and 8 next year, or just make it a dollar amount like that. And because I don't know where you're at with,
Yeah.
No, I was doing the difference between what you're making now and what the figures were from the
Gladwin,
last motion.
yeah. Okay. 'Cause
That's what I did.
We want to bring both of you up to what Gladwin's paying, okay? And we went around several times, and now to bring you up to those numbers, just split it into 2 years. So at the end of next year, you guys will be making the same as Gladwin sheriff and undersheriff.
It won't be the end of next year. It will be starting in October
Oh, right, there, sorry.
of this year.
So,
Because that's when it would take effect.
And will this
we're
be-
not gonna be paid that this year,
yes,
Yes, it'd be
okay.
then why did she just say October?
No, I'm saying.
He was
this- the
correcting me.
split, if it was
second
split.
portion.
Oh, I get it.
It would go,
But the second one would take effect in October.
yeah, they would get paid immediately at the new rate, correct?
Well, is it starting today or is it retroactive back to beginning of the year?
You can't do retro.
Okay, that's the one.
By law, you can't do
Can't
retro.
do it. Okay.
Okay, so you get the first raise immediately. And then in October, the other half will kick in. So by October, you'll be making the full amount. Am I right?
Yeah.
Am I right?
That percentage.
Am I right?
Yes, you're right.
Could you?
In a long-winded way, you're right.
Okay, that's how I like.
You got that motion?
Not really, because it's
See, I'm,
explained to me what exactly their today increase is gonna be and what their October, I just need.
They haven't got that far yet.
Yeah,
Yeah, and that's what, I mean, you threw out 17,000. I don't know if that's today increase.
yeah, but by October, you'll be making,
Oh, split that in half.
Yeah, being immediate.
So I need that half number.
Yes.
Okay.
Could you read that back to us, please?
Because
she
she,
hasn't
I don't
got
have
it.
Got it yet.
I don't have it.
I'm making a motion to pay, do I, want me to do the sheriff separately and then, or just say the numbers? I'm making a motion.
there you go.
Increase the sheriff's pay to $17,33 in 2 parts. The first part to start immediately, and then the rest with the next fiscal year, which is in October. Also, as part of that motion, I am asking to increase the undersheriff's pay by $14,075.35 in 2 parts. The first part starting immediately, and then the second half starting at the new fiscal year in October. Now, do I have to say? Did I have to say cutting them in half, starting immediately with half?
You said that on the.
You said that next and second.
Okay, did I say, I have to say, okay, I just wanted, all right. Do you want me to say it again? Okay, I'm making a motion to increase the sheriff's pay to $17,033 in two equal parts. The first part to begin immediately, the second part to start at the fiscal year in October. Is that part correct? Yes. Okay, and then I also include in that motion an increase in the undersheriff's pay by $14,075.35, divided equally in half, two parts. The first part to start immediately, and the second part to start in October, which is the beginning of the new fiscal year.
Okay, we got a motion.
What's that? 26%.
We got a motion.
What now?
Speak up.
Speak up. Well, wait. No,
Go ahead, do it.
I made the motion. There was a
That's the
second.
motion, that's the motion.
There a second?
Basically what it is, it's gonna be by October 1 this year.
There-
It will be making what Gladwin County Sheriff and Undersheriff make.
Have them put him at the 77, right? Is that what you want to say?
You gotta put him at the 77.
Does the undersheriff over there make less than that amount?
He makes 77.
And what would
Have them
the,
put him at.
Or so you gotta raise that by 3,000.
Not what they can call.
okay. So we haven't got a second on it. Can I change it around?
Change it, go ahead. Let's just get this changed.
So I have to add $2,000 to Dwayne's?
Yeah, just whatever 77 is divided by 2 for the two things.
No, I can't.
Or no,
No, I can't do that. He'd be making about 150,000. I love him, but not that much.
It sounded, it was $3,000. Is that correct?
yes.
3,000.
So,
It sounded like, yeah. 18,064.
So that's amended from the 17,000 that you said.
you want me to amend the part for the undersheriff on that motion?
Yeah, make it whatever you want.
All right.
You got time.
We're good with the sheriff's amount.
17,033.
Yeah, and that divided into the two parts. Okay, do you have that part of the motion?
And then the undersheriff would be 18 what?
Oh, 18,064. So I make a motion to increase the undersheriff's salary by $18,064, split into two parts, two equal parts. First part to start immediately, and the second part to begin October 1st, 2022, fiscal year.
I'll second. Okay, I got a motion, we got a second. I think we've discussed this enough. Roll call, please.
Bristol.
Yes.
Bankham.
Yes.
Dusky. No. Pittsford.
Yes.
Brown. Yes. Eslin. Yes. Casco.
No. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Congratulations, guys.
Can you please submit a payroll change notice?
Guys,
Can you please submit a payroll change notice to Jody?
Okay.
don't anybody else ask for money?
Sandy.
Not today.
Well, you know, wait to talk about that.
Okay.
Lori got a report or?
He doesn't. I got the election all programmed, City of Clare only. They have their ballots. I think the redistricting is all done as far as our qualified voter files. So I think that phase is over and I can now start running reports for any commissioner, or any other candidate that wants to fight. They need to know who's in their district.
I need to pick up my application, yeah.
I need to know, when is the deadline in April for if you're running with the party?
I happen to bring that, Jeff.
That was the ninth.
April 19th,
And that election is what, August 2nd?
August 2nd.
And I would recommend you get them in way plenty early so that they can be scrutinized and any mistakes you've made on the applications can be made in plenty of time for the deadline.
All right. Anything else, Joy?
No.
All right.
Thank you.
Kenny, you got anything for us?
Yes, just a little bit. Good morning, everyone. In front of you is my statutory cash investment and fund balance sheet as of yesterday. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. I am currently working on tax settlements for 2021 taxes with all of your local units. We have 2 units left to settle with, and I will update you with the final numbers at your next month's meeting and give you the delinquent tax report. Currently, it's looking like the approximate amount that we will be buying back is 4.6 million. We are right now moving into the statutory tax foreclosure deadline. My office is diligently working on contacting anyone in danger of losing their property. The annual hardship hearings have concluded for the year for anyone in danger of losing their home or property. I am able to extend taxes. However, I am still working with them. I'm going to have a second hearing date coming up here in the next couple of weeks. The deadline to pay the 2019 property taxes is March 31st. And we are working with some wonderful agencies that are helping taxpayers. Mid-Michigan Community Action Agency and DHHS have been working together and with my office to help everyone out. They've been great. And the state's My Half program has been up and running for a few weeks. That program will help people that meet certain criteria and are behind on their mortgages and property taxes help pay both. So if you know of anyone in trouble of losing their home, please forward them to my office. And if you have any questions, just let me know. That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jenny.
I have been telling people about that help with the taxes too, and they're glad to hear it.
Wonderful.
Good morning. So I want to update you on some things that we've been doing. So for the CAC interviews, I've talked to you a lot about the Child Advocacy Center and how we attend the forensic interviews of children who are victims of suspected sexual and physical abuse. And I just wanted you to hear some of the numbers. We are 16 days in to March, and we've already had 6 interviews that accounted for 10.75 hours of an assistant prosecutor's time to attend those interviews. March 2nd, it was 2.25 hours. March 9th, it was 5.5 hours, so it took up the majority of the day. And then on March 10th, it was 3 hours. In February, we had 10 interviews, and there was a total of 19.5 hours spent on those interviews. So one day there was 5 hours away from the office. One day there was 3.25 hours away from the office. On 2 other days, there were 2 hours each away from the office. On another day, there was 2.75 hours. Another day, there was 3, and another day, 1.5. So obviously, when the attorney is attending these meetings, they are working on that particular case and that particular case only. The attorneys in the office are left to cover court schedules, and no other cases on that attorney's docket are being worked on that day because that is their focus for the day. We have 3 interviews scheduled for this Friday. So clearly, this is an issue here in Clare County. But I'd like to use small things to illustrate to you where our time goes during the day. And things to think about is that for every hour that we're in court, we're spending a half hour to an hour after outside of court to prepare for that one case. So for me to prepare for a motion day Monday docket in circuit court, I'm spending close to 4 hours, 3 to 4 hours. And I'm experienced and I know what I'm doing, and things work quickly. So it takes time to prepare the cases and push them forward to conviction. I also wanted to re-update you on the child support. I know that a while back, Ms. Raymond, the friend of the court, was in here, made all kinds of comments about our office. Since we have hired Carrie Gallo as child support specialist, our car processing, which is the new cases that come in, was at 0.06%. It is now at 74.1%. When our locate individuals was at 0%, it is at 100%. And this is one of those lines that we get incentives for. So additional money comes back into the county because of meeting those benchmarks. The medical support was at 2.9%. It's now at 100%. The order establishment, well, let me go here. Service of process was at 2.6 and it's now up to 25%. And that's another line item that we get incentives for. So we're moving in the right direction there. For our order establishment, we were at 7.6% and we're up to 11%. That is the one category where we've seen the least improvement. And it is the one category that we require cooperation from the front of the court. So I will just put that out there. You can do with that information what you will. Jury trials are starting back up. Next month, we have a 2018 criminal sexual conduct case that is finally coming to trial. So we're going to be spending some time prepping that, specifically me, because it's my case. And then in May, we've got another 2018 trial, which is assault with intent to murder and torture. Again, that is my case. Prep. When we come up to July, the one murder trial is set to go, and we're pushing for it to run as scheduled. And again, that's going to take a lot of time. And I say all these things to point out to you that our caseload is 117 open cases right now. And Annette Howe, who we recently hired to fill one of the positions, took a position as the attorney referee in family court and the circuit court administrator. She took that as it pays more money, and she moved that company. So that is now open. This guy. It was vacant for 5 months before I could recruit her in. I recruited her from a local practice because no outside attorneys applied. And so now we're back in that same position. And we don't have young attorneys moving here. We don't. We have attorneys retiring. We have attorneys moving away. And so we're all trying to pull from the same talent pool that's locally. So for all of the arguments that you have made for the increase that you just gave the sheriff and the undersheriff, they apply squarely with my office. We can't attract talent and keep talent. The young assistant prosecutor is getting paid $57,000 a year. She's now handling and helping handle the CFC cases. She's talented and she's young, and there is no raise in sight for her because we don't have a pay scale. Do you think we're going to keep her? Honestly, do you think we're going to keep her?
Probably not.
She drives here an hour and a half one way to come to work and then go home. And because on her salary as a professional, she can't afford to buy a house at $55,000. It's a pit. And there's no rentals here. Not rentals that you're going to have a professional live in. So what are you doing? Well, is there going to be any action taken on my office for salary increases?
Every department is going to get looked at.
So when?
That I can't give you an answer. Next.
When? Next year?
No, not next year.
Next month?
We'll start meeting on it this month coming up.
Okay.
You know, Michelle, we've got an overall budget to look at. I mean, your bullying tactics, we're trying to work with you. Come on now.
Oh, we don't just keep bullying.
Justy.
I'm not doing anything different right now than what the sheriff and the undersheriff just did to you this meeting and the last meeting. So don't tell me that I'm sitting here bullying you.
Yeah.
I'm stating facts.
Yeah.
And I'm not speaking from emotion, but I get it. So you have access to grind. So
No, not really. That's your point of view.
My time on the board, I've recognized that there are shortcomings in many areas, and I think, as Jeff said, it's time to look at the organization as a whole and look at every department. And unfortunately, as we look at those areas, cuts may need to be made in other departments to accommodate and put increases into areas that need it. Great, Michelle.
But you gotta look at our overall budget.
Absolutely.
Well, this is, I mean, we've just, with the ARPA money has really helped us dig out of the hole that we're in. If we don't be careful, we're gonna dig ourselves back into that hole.
And that's why looking at it.
I will say that we are gonna look at every department, and to answer your next question, yes, you'll have a chance to come in and talk to us.
Perfect.
As we like to meet though, it'll take a couple meetings because we definitely want to hear what you have to say, where you're coming from, what you're thinking. But then also we would like some time to talk candidly amongst ourselves. And as you can see, it always doesn't go smoothly. It can even get heated. So we'll have a couple meetings on that. And as we go through and look at each department, we'll bring a recommendation back to the board of directors, which probably will get turned down anyways, but we will look at everyone and do our best our ability to be as fair as we can.
I appreciate that. And I also would encourage you to talk to your civil counsel regarding open meetings. Because if you're going to meet as a committee of 3 and make recommendations for voting to the board based on things that are discussed at that meeting, that is an open meeting. Where people are allowed to attend.
All right.
Based on my research. So just an FYI, I'm giving you a heads up.
I understand.
Can I ask a couple questions?
And then
Go ahead.
Okay. Michelle, one thing that at least I'm looking at here, because we only have, as you know, a certain amount of money in the budget. And I wish we had a lot more, but looking at benefits too, okay? I don't know how important benefits are to your employees.
if you're talking about the ASR benefit plan that you went to, I had the PPO under the Blue Cross Blue Shield, and I was told that if I purchased the PPO under the ASR, I wouldn't see a change in my benefits. I had $2,000 of outstanding medical bills that ASR is refusing to pay. The Blue Cross Blue Shield paid.
Have you talked to 44 North?
I have. I'm fed up. I'm fed up with everybody on the health insurance. It's not good.
It seems to me that those that have had issues, they're being able to resolve those. Yeah, that's what I've been told, but maybe yours is a special case. I don't know. Second question is child support. I think in some other counties, some of that child support money that's paid comes back to the department and it comes back to your department. So
it comes back to the general fund.
Yeah, the general fund. So where we were at 6.4% and now we're at 74%. I'm so excited about that. And that person, that's an extra person that we hired, right? Through
that was a position we just filled. That position has been there since
that person wasn't there. We just filled it.
Correct. We had people in it, but they weren't staying in the position.
Right. So things like this, I think we can look at. And I think that's a good thing.
Well, and for the position that's open, currently you're funding with ARPA funds at $57,000. I'm in communication with an attorney I hope to recruit. I need it set at $60,000 if I hope to recruit an attorney. So.
All good conversation.
I'm asking today. I just told you I've got trials next month, the following month, and a murder coming up.
And that's.
If you want our office to be successful.
I do want your office to be successful.
They've arrested and bring them to conviction.
Have to do it. Are you telling me that benefits are off the table in negotiations?
Asking for $3,000 to hire a new, $2,000 more posting on a job to hire a new employee because the 57,000 doesn't seem to be working.
Yeah, but with that $3,000 extra, if we looked at our benefit package and we're able to make some concessions,
I'm
possible.
She's the one that's asking for it. No.
The benefit package, you negotiate that on the whole of the county.
Right.
Not for just one. So that will not exist in this particular issue.
Yeah.
And every time I have a vacant spot, I come back and say, you gotta raise the rate so I can attract people. And if somebody that's interested,
60K would make it something that we could talk about.
Already have a candidate.
I do, I'm trying to recruit somebody. Train,
And,
we have prosecution experience.
and this is a ARPA funded position or no? Yes. So it'd be $3,000 this year and next year to recruit that person.
Yes.
Does anybody want to make that motion?
Yeah, if it's out the money, that's, I'll second that.
Got a motion second?
Please don't ask me to say it.
It's to make the starting wage for an assistant prosecutor 60,000 instead of $57,000.
For that particular
That
position.
particular position.
Funded by ARPA.
Yeah.
Got that, Samantha? Okay.
We got a second?
Yeah, I second it.
Roll call, please.
Pitchford, Bristol,
Yes.
Majeski, Rankin,
Yes.
Brown, Asplund,
Yes.
Haskell.
Yes.
Appreciate that.
Thank you. Don, you got anything for us?
I put out there, we're getting in the schools here, we have an MSA scholarship. For anybody interested in,
Excuse me, interrupt. What?
Can we stop for just a second? So Dawn can stop the meeting and go back in. We've got some issues with the sound.
I have to stop it, restart it.
coming back up.
Yeah. Walk slow mo.
Let's see that.
Start over.
Yeah.
Well, looking at